On this tight trail, are my 35-inch tires on my full-size truck enough? Rock slider. Yes, used it. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. It's been 6 years, but I finally returned to the Monache Meadows. Just a disclaimer, I am not trying to entice you to visit this place. For some reason, a lot of you want to go here, even though it's known for being a very busy place. So if nothing is going to stop you, let me give you some tips and tricks to make this trip a success. Tip number 1, bring some bug spray. And a pro tip, prepare your clothing with some type of permethrin spray. It's actually pretty surprising that more of you don't know about permethrin spray, even some of my friends that I go on adventures with. This goes on your clothes, your hiking boots, your backpack, even your tent. And it lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months. And this deterrent will stay even after you wash your clothes. Wearing a sun shirt and spraying it down with permethrin spray is my favorite clothing setup because a sun shirt is temperature regulating, so it keeps you cold when it's hot and it keeps you reasonably warm when it's cold. It's just awesome clothing. That's why you always see me wearing sun shirts and then just spraying it down with permethrin when it's in the spring or the summer to deter mosquitoes and other bugs. That is one of my favorite tips I could give you guys. Tip number 2, this trail is moderately difficult. And it's also narrow in a lot of spots and really tight. So taking a gigantic truck on this trail might not be a good idea either. I have many friends and heard of many stories of all-wheel drives getting stuck on this trail, especially when it's wet. So just keep that in mind. Also, after all these tips, I will show you some trail footage and kind of a walkthrough on getting through the Monache Meadows. Things have changed and have changed for the better. There are now bypasses on the 2 difficult sections. Tip number 3, there are stage 1 fire restrictions as of June 22nd, 2026, which means that you're not allowed to have a wood fire. You could have a wood fire, it has to be in a metal fire ring in a developed campsite, but that's not going to be the case in the Monache Meadows. There is none of that, so no wood fires allowed. You see this wood fire because we were here on June 13th with no stage 1 fire restriction. Also, you are allowed to use a propane fire pit in most cases. Just a heads up, it's a $500 fine if you are caught. My final tip is to have a plan B because this place gets so overly crowded, you might not even have a camp spot. And with that said, just it being that overly crowded, that might just lead to a terrible experience. This place is so freaking busy. I only agreed to come here for investigative reporting. During COVID, this place was jam-packed. I went here 3 times in a 1-month period because I had many different friends that wanted to check the place out, and they wanted a guide to take them here, especially because some of them had all-wheel drives. I volunteered, but man, it was a madhouse. And I told myself I didn't want to come back here. It took me 6 years to finally return. Now that we have some important tips out of the way, let's get on with the episode. Here's my new to me full-size truck with 35-inch tires. And to this episode, I take it on an unexpected challenge. I've been on this trail many times before, and this was back in 2020, driving my 2019 Honda Passport all-wheel drive, and it just has a 2-inch lift and 32-inch tires. With its 114-inch wheelbase, it maneuvered through the trail pretty easily. 6 years later, and the Honda became even more capable, more ground clearance, bigger tires, and some mods. So I thought my Ford F-150 on 35-inch tires would just beast through this entire trail with no issues. But that didn't quite feel like the case.
I'll record. I can record him.
To be clear, there is not one single time that my Ford F-150 failed. I just thought it would make a level 3 moderate trail easy. Joining me on this adventure is Steven, Toy99, and AJ, Trail Dragons. So we'll have an all-wheel drive and a more capable truck so I can make comparisons. Big shout out to Abe Rollick for getting to camp early and securing it. He brought his Outback Wilderness, and you'll just have to see how this thing does, so stay tuned. After airing down to 20 psi for comfort, we're ready to go. Here's the start of the trail with a billboard, and also I think this is a little tiny gatekeeper, just to let the cars know that this trail might get a little rough. Alright, so 35-inch tires. This is supposed to make running things over easy, but man, I just think when you got a big old truck like this, it's just the proper size. The bigger the tires, the smaller the world gets. I'm just in 4 high right now. Transmission temp 203. I don't know if I'm gonna. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing there. So there you go. Perfect example of this one. Upon tuck, when the wheel goes up into the wheel well, there's tuck. After this guy passes, get in front of me. Yeah, that's why I let him through. I'm like, I went too wide. I'm still adjusting to the size of the truck, so I didn't give myself enough room to pull back into the trail. I had to reverse. Alright, so we're coming up on the first difficult section. I don't know when they did this, but they now have bypasses. So where my truck is right there, you would just make a right, and that would be the easy bypass. And that will let you avoid the tight squeeze between the 2 trees.
Got a UTV coming up, so I'm gonna let him go up. I'm gonna hug the right here.
It's pretty rocky now. Let's go this way.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Are we gonna fit?
Yeah, it'll fit.
That's scary.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, got it. So just know that when you're driving out of here, you're going to be climbing up a steep grade, and you got to squeeze between those trees. So even if you have a small all-wheel drive, you just might not have enough traction and crash into the trees, and that has happened. There's some people that believe unibody all-wheel drives, car-based crossovers can't really handle rough sections like this. And as you can see, it's just not the case.
Go ahead. Pick a good line.
Hey, thanks for recording, Steve.
Sure.
Yeah, this is the section that I remember.
Yeah, this is the tough part going up,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look too bad.
No.
Lots of rocks, but no really big wombat holes.
They don't let Aiden leave you.
Sure.
Aiden, wait for your dad. All right, there we go. That is the first tough section. This could also be a bottleneck. Make sure to get through this as quickly as possible. Don't dilly-dally. We were able to shoot footage, but we did it on the fly. Also, keep in mind, this section might get rougher. The trail just opened, so towards the end of the season, this just might be rutted out. There might be those wombat holes that Steve was talking about. Yeah, that's like pretty much the roughest section you gotta worry about. Oh, I think there's one more section. Yeah, there's one more section. But the beginning part of the trail has the tougher section, and then most of it is just a level 1, level 2 fire road that goes throughout the meadows. Tucked away in the back at the creek crossing, the trail gets a bit more difficult again, just moderately difficult. There's one thing about this trail, it is just so beautiful. And now we've come to the second rough section, and we come across a Ford Raptor. In case you didn't know, this thing is 6 inches wider than my Ford F-150.
Easy up sliders here.
By the way, there's now a bypass for this section, making the Monache Meadows more accessible. But of course, the bypass isn't nearly as fun.
Alright, looks like AJ's gonna walk it down. Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah, so after seeing and hearing that, I decided not to drive down. And here's a little clip of my Honda Passport driving down, no issues, because of the shorter wheelbase. Hey, thanks, Steve. Tell Aiden to wait. Oh, yeah, you're going to record Aiden too, huh? Okay. Whoa! Okay.
I'll record.
Whoa.
I can record him.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
I don't think this is
Exhaust.
that crack. I remember being steeper than this.
Is this all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive?
All-wheel drive. Yeah, they got 2-inch lift. Yeah, and full skid plates. Got rid of the lower lip in the front bumper. Slow. Right.
That's your wife?
My son.
Oh.
Watch the tree, dude. All right, you do.
You guys going all the way to the bottom?
Yeah, we're going head camping. We're getting a little close to that tree.
I know, I was watching this part right here. I didn't want to go on top of those rocks, so I was
All
just
right.
watching. Alright, go.
When you're in the trees, this trail is very tight. I'm sure it's possible, but quite honestly, I have never seen a Sprinter van down here. But then again, on this entire trip, our 2 all-wheel drives were the only all-wheel drives during this weekend. And that about does it for this rougher section. And now we enter the beauty of the Monache Meadows. Woo-wee, nice.
That's something I didn't even see it. What happened?
Hey guys, I am in my F-150 with my workstation. I got my bed set up on this side. I'm trying to finish this Monache Meadows video. Got my condenser microphone and all that to narrate. I think I said pretty much everything I need to say to help you guys succeed at having a Monache Meadows trip and making the most of it, and making sure you don't get eaten alive by mosquitoes. Another thing to point out is on the water crossings, if you're not familiar with doing them, no matter what you drive, don't just like send it through as quickly as possible. With wide open throttle, you could suck in water into your engine and hydrolock. Anyways, there's a few more things I want to show you. My F-150 with 35s. I feel like I should give this F-150 2 more inches of ground clearance, and quite honestly, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I recently had a trip with a YouTuber, Average Joe, and he has a Ford Raptor. He said he bought it used with a 3-inch lift, and that thing looks proper. So I'm going to ask for your help. There's been many of you that have been commenting ever since I got the F-150 and give me advice on how to build it out. I really appreciate it. And I've listened. Actually, one guy told me, like, hey, I recommend you get these Husky liners on the rear. And I've done that. And yeah, definitely looks a lot better. I also got some fender flares and all that. My off-road mentor, Nori, this FX4 comes with a 1-inch block. He said, just get 2-inch blocks, add a leaf. And I plan on running Bilstein 5160s in the rear. But for the front, I guess maybe because this thing has the V8 engine's heavier. I'm assuming, well, yeah, it has to be heavier, right? I was researching the internet and said to add a little bit more preload on the springs. I've maxed out these Bilstein 6112. So does that mean that I add a preload spacer? Anyways, let me know. You guys have been very helpful. I make videos to kind of share what I know, but I also read comments and share comments from you guys. I feel like this is just a community. I do not consider myself like an influencer. I just consider myself some dude that makes videos, and I contribute to the knowledge base.
You good?
Yeah.
Wait, stop. Okay, good. I feel like he's
All right, everyone. So out here in Colorado, don't ask. But anyways, sorry guys, I'm on the road. I'm trying to finish this dang episode, and we're gonna cut it off right here. But stay tuned. I'm really congested.
Yeah, it's that mountain congestion.